Welcome in another edition of the Dirt Racing Podcast. Let's get started. Now the results portion of the show. On last Friday night, the World of Outlaws late models went to Williams Grove.
Fine field of late models here at Williams Grove tonight. Shepherd on the bottom, Colford on the outside. Green flag is out as they drag race into the first corner. Brandon Shepherd's got the lead. Ricky Weiss in second place. A real traffic jam behind them. Shepherd breaking away from the pack. He's under the rouge into turn number 3. As we look to get one lap down in this one, and Brandon Shepherd will lead lap number 1. Rick Eshel will take it away. They were parked behind St. Clinton. For a minute, it was Greg Sanderly thinking about going through. Darrell Lanigan almost got a piece of the 11 of Austin Hubbard. Working the outside is Covert, along with Clanton. Clanton trying to take the number 2 spot away from Ricky Weiss. Weiss having himself a very good night here. Would love to get that first and elusive win. But right now, it's the Brandon Shepherd show. And it's up to 2.8 seconds. Right now in third. And business picking up for fourth as the 22 of Satterley will look to the inside of Covert. Both drivers do have laps here at the Speedway. And it's a good side-by-side battle right now for fourth. Burkhoff now working on Irv. Shepherd now in the lap traffic for the first time in the event. He got by Blake Spencer. Now they race side-by-side in front of him. Ross Robinson and Mike Looper. That'll put in. 20 to go. Looper calling it quits. Mike Looper in trouble. And Shepherd's on the loud pedal. We go back to green. Now Satterley and Herb mixed it up. Herb tried to get the number 4 spot from Satterley. They sorted it out, but it was hairy for a minute. Now Burkhoffer going after Jason Covert. Burkfield gets shut down in turn 3. Shepherd leads. And all of a sudden, Covert and the 18 of Young Hands will close in on him. Herb off the pace for a minute. Drops down to the bottom. And Dennis Herb Jr. has a problem. Oops. So everybody back to work. Kay Dillard kind of threw a little elbow to Rick Eckert. Eckert answered back. Ziegler and Burkhoffer side-by-side and Clanton to the outside of Weiss now for second. So there is some tussling going on. Darrell Lanigan coming to life. Rubo 3 wide in turn 4. 4 elbows being thrown. Ends. 10 to go next time. Burkhoffer will take over 5th. Ziegler once again back to the outside. Chase Young Hands and the 72 of Fuller continue to wage war. So does Lanigan and Dillard. They've had a spirited battle for about the last 7 laps. 7 to go for Shepherd. The interval is shrinking at 1.8 seconds. We'll see if Clanton has anything in the tank. Ever since he jumped into this newly formed 25 team. Down the backstretch and into turn number 3. The hottest driver in the country will bring the field to the 2 to go signal. Right flag next time. Clanton running second, distancing himself from Ricky Weiss in third. Satterley fourth. Murphy fifth. And one more trip down the super stretch under the bridge. For the 16th time this year. The 53rd time in his career. And his first ever visit to Williams Grove Speedway. Second ever winner will be the Rocket Chef Brandon Shepherd. Second will go to Shane Clanton. Third to Ricky Weiss. Fourth will go to...
And for Brandon Shepherd, that was his 16th win on the year. The next night, the World of Outlaws late models went to the Port Royal Speedway, and here's those highlights. Oops, wrong one. That was the World of Outlaws sprint cars. We'll get now. Here should be the right one.
It is time to light the fires and kick the tires here at the Royal Speedway. Green flag is out. Behold, outlaws refueling. Late models are underway here at the Speed Palace. Ziegler, he'll be your early leader down the backstretch. Reese will be in second. 3 wide for that third spot. And the turn number 3. Plan down low. Young hands. Wow, great foul, still free ride as 1 lap is in the book. And Brandon Shepard could have just backed off and let it all take place. He stopped for a second, seen what was taking place, and then went after it and grabbed the number 3 spot like he just did from Shea Plant. So far, Ziegler has held over a second lead. Ricky Weiss is carving into it. Shepard is going to stay married to the high side for now. That's going to change when they get to lap traffic. There's going to be no particular preferred lane as this is Ziegler. They have just given the race away to Ricky Weiss. He went after Hubbard. Hubbard was there. He went up by the cushion. Weiss steals the lead from Ziegler. And now Shepard's going to make it a 3-car party. And now the one sooner or later was going to be a factor. Top 3 now, breakaway. Weiss goes low, and then he goes to the 11. Hubbard still, Ziegler still in the top. He has a run off the turn number 2. As Weiss can't quite negotiate the lap off. Top 3 are no still on the fly. Ricky haven't got off the cushion for a while. They think maybe that's where the race is going to be run. It works hard time for Ziegler, but not all the time. This time it really worked well until he got to the apex of turn 2. Then he had to get off of it. With Brett Larson there pinning Ricky Weiss down, Ziegler's going to take a shot here at 4. Side by side, momentarily for the lead. We'll look at it in the 1. Weiss now through the middle. Ziegler up high. He has a lot of momentum. He's just banging the cushion at the turns and he'll take the lead down the backstretch. So now Ziegler finally gets by the 7 machine. It's his turn to play defense as Ricky Weiss will be on the attack now. Shepard falling a little bit off the pace. Brandon Shepard may not have it here tonight at Port Royal. Who does have it? It's the 2 young Lions up front. Ricky Weiss back for the lead in the inside of turn number 2, side by side. Car in the way. That's Brian Birdheiser. That's going to slow down the progress of the 25Z. Somehow he stays in front. Now, Weiss may have taken the top side to take that away from Shepard. Paid off for him. He'll go for the lead in turn number 2. Shepard on the bottom where he has not been. Weiss right there with Ziegler. They drag race. Ziegler will corner him into 3. Weiss goes to the bottom. He'll slide up in front of Ziegler. Ziegler turns the car side by side as they make their way down the front stretch. Ziegler hits him at the line. It'll be 10 to go next time, and this one's far from over. Ziegler all over the cushion. Weiss with the lead again. Now Ziegler to the bottom. They will play Indian giver for the number 1 spot in every corner. Ziegler now Weiss will go up top where he hasn't been. Ziegler on the bottom where he's not seen. They come out of turn number 4 side by side at the line. Ricky Weiss no leader. 10 Weiss through the middle. Ziegler still hammering the cushion. He has a run off the 4. Nose the tail as they hold the middle into turn number 1. Now Ziegler, he'll pull the trigger. He'll put a slide job on Weiss. Weiss turns the car side by side once again for the lead. So Mason Ziegler took the lead and then surrendered it in the cushion as Ricky Weiss will go to battle now. As they work out at turn number 4 to the outside of Ziegler. Power move. Chalk Hill Express back up front. Ricky Weiss sits in second, half away from his first ever North Cleveland feature win. He'll take it into turn number 3. Weiss running out of time. Race fans, Mason Ziegler has won his first ever race for the World of Outlaws right here at Port Royal. Your winner at Port Royal at Chalk Hill Express, Mason Ziegler!
And then we don't have, the audio was courtesy of the late model races, Rick Kesselman in Division. Well, we don't have audio for the Lucas Oil late models. They ran in Batesville in the topless 100 and picking up the big 40. It was a Bloomquist weekend, pretty much. His teammate Chris Madden won the first night. Bloomquist won second night. And then on Saturday night, Chris Madden takes the 40,000. And then breaking news on the late models just released tonight. as they're getting ready to go to the Dirt Million at Mansfield. Chris Madden has had to have emergency surgery for a fractured eye socket and will not be in action this weekend. So that's your late model update. Up next, we'll talk about the World of Outlaws Not Synergy Drink Sprint cars. On Friday night, they got their race in at Grand Forks. And with those highlights is Johnny Gibson from Dirt Vision. Wrong one again. That's Blake Anderson with the All-Stars. We'll have them after the Outlaws. Now here's the Outlaws and Johnny Gibson.
Feature is underway at the River City Speedway. Into turn one, David Gravel down low. Brad Sweet on the high side. Gravel takes the lead down the backstretch. Battle for third, side by side. Little bit short. Sweeps to the inside of Jared Pittman. Pittman tries to turn it back underneath it short. His first across the line. Johnny Shaw's running fifth and riding the top side of the speedway. He pushes through the middle of the road. Trouble car to the wall. Upside down on the front straightaway. Nick Roy, Chris Ridden, and Outlaw made some contact, but Outlaw had already been into the wall before Ridden got into him coming down the front straightaway. Back underway. Gravel runs a low side at 1 and 2. Brad Sweet stays there in the second spot. Sheldon Hodgson to the inside of Donnie Schultz to take on the fifth spot. Schultz races back to the inside. 3 wide between Schultz, Sheldon, and Mark Tolmeyer. Schultz back to fifth as they enter corner number 1. Cushion now starting to move up the bank. He's 2/3 of the way up in turn 3 and 4. Schuhart to the inside of Sweet looking for second, and he's got it. Logan Schuhart takes the second spot at the exit of turn 2. Schuhart a little tight at 3 and 4, and Sweet right back to the inside. Sweet looking to take second back from Schuhart. He's got it in turn 2, and he bicycles, and that makes Schuhart to the inside back to the second spot. Now Donnie Schultz all over Brad Sweet for third, and he's got it out of turn number 4. Donnie Schultz now to third. David Gravel getting away. David Sheldon, but Schultz got into a slow car in turn 2, and Brad Sweet moves back for third. And Sheldon Hodgson to the inside of Schultz in traffic, and Sheldon will take over the fourth spot. Sheldon Hodgson took advantage of traffic and by Donnie Schultz. Now Schultz back to the inside of Sheldon. Sheldon to the inside of Sweet, who bicycles again in turn 2, and Sheldon Hodgson now third. Donnie Schultz not close enough to capitalize there. Looks to the inside. Caution flag away, but problem on the back straightaway. Mark Tolmeyer, the all-time leading feature winner here at the River City Speedway. We've got red flag, and we've got a car in the top of the catch fence on the back straightaway. A car at the top of the catch fence has a replay here. Back underway as they race into turns 1 and 2. Donnie Schultz coming after Logan Schuhart. Trials around him on the outside. Schultz now up to second. Schultz coming after the leader. He's got the top spot on lap 17. Donnie Schultz from 6th to the lead. David Gravel right back to his inside in turn 2 leader. Logan Schuhart to the inside of David Gravel. Sheldon Hodgson spins, keeps the engine fired, and we will stay green. Sheldon Hodgson moves the curb and kept the engine fired as Trump back to the 8th position. Again, Schultz trying to put Brad Sweet a lap down, and he doesn't at the exit of turn 2. Sheldon Hodgson and Jared Pittman going out and racing for the 6th spot. Sheldon got by momentarily before Pittman was able to pass it back. 3 and 4 for the final time. Donnie Schultz sweeps at River City Speedway. David Gravel second, Logan Schuhart third, Ian Manson fourth, and Carson Macedo fifth. Donnie Schultz up top to celebrate. We'll go downstairs to now.
And you heard right, Donnie Schultz swept the night. He also picked up the local late model win there Saturday night at River City Raceway in Fargo, not River City, whatever it's called in Fargo, got rained out. Up next, the All-Star Circuit of Champions and Blake Anderson. Their first night was on Friday.
6 feet away, and showtime! Green flag flies, and Aaron Reitzel down, Blaney trying to extend a turn on Blaney, wants to turn off at him, but Reitzel wins the ball off for turn 2. Gio Selzy slipped past Blaney, moves Selzy into the second spot. Selzy in the second as Reitzel leads on the 1, with 3 wide, into the back, and oh my, Brock Searfoss nearly into Paul McMahon in the 13th. Brock Searfoss got sideways, off of turn number 4. Here comes Dustin Daggett. Daggett slips past Lee Jacobs, takes a 6 spot back as we come to fight number 4. Down on the 4th, and Skylar G nearly goes around. She's got an upstart race start before Elias and into the 4th spot. Gio missed the line on the bottom of turn number 2, and Reitzel slips away, but Selzy close back up, right back up off the turn number 4. Reitzel leads on number 7. Selzy lost her on second, but we got one around in turn number 2. Hit one upside down, red flag in turn number 2. Another one upside down. Gio Selzy just flips off of turn number 2. And we got one upside down off of turn number 2 there. So the 4 of Ryan Rule, the car upside down, and the 71 of Gio Selzy. 87 of Aaron Reitzel to the work area. The new captain off of turn number 4. Blaney brings us back to green. Blaney powers away with the lead as we've got all points. Justin Peck missed the bottom and Lee Jacobs has to shoot up to the top of the race like a point contact. Nearly gets together with the 13 of Paul McMahon as Blaney leads on number 8. Eliason with one all-star win on the season. That's a pair of unsanctioned wins and ends on number 2 at Daps Motor Speedway. 3-time victor this year, Skylar G on his back bumper now. The all-star rookie battling hard. A pair of all-star rookies racing for second. Oh, G nearly around. 3 all-star rookies are second, third, and fourth with Eliason, G, and Justin Peck. Here comes Justin Peck. Oh boy, Justin Peck. Justin Peck nearly got into the 99 of Skylar G. G slipped away on the left side with Corey Eliason. Still waiting well within striking distance as we flash that play. 12 laps to go this time for Dale Blaney. The gaggle lap back in front of him. Blaney gets way high. Dale Blaney gets high and Eliason to the back. Blaney to turn number 1. Eliason holds it clear to the back bumper, and Dale Blaney is bringing Skylar G with it. It's Blaney, Eliason, G, Peck, and Daggett your top 5. Here comes Corey Eliason on the bottom. Looks to throw a slide. Job he done. Eliason leads at lap 19. Corey Eliason around Dale Blaney at lap number 19. Eliason runs away from Dale Blaney. Skylar G throws a slide on Parker Price. Miller move G back into the 4th spot. And here comes Paul McMahon. McMahon to business. He's side by side with Parker Price Miller. G throws the slider. McMahon to the inside. Trying to go 2 for 1. Paul McMahon into the 5th spot with 3 to go. McMahon takes 5th. Parker Price Miller now takes 4th from Skylar G. He took the lead at lap number 19 into the final 2 left-hand turn. Off to number 4 for the second time of the season for Eliason wins with the only circuit out on All-Star Circuit champion. Second to Dale Blaney, third to Justin Peck.
That was at night 96. Then the next night they went to Plymouth Speedway, and here's the highlights.
It's showtime! Aaron Reitzel jumps up nearly lead. Will go down to the bottom. Drag race down to extras for side by side for the 3rd spot. Here comes Rod McIntyre hot after Reitzel. Points implications on the line as Searfoss tries to duck through the middle and nearly comes to make contact with Blaney. Big slider on McIntyre. Brock Searfoss in the 2nd spot momentarily as Gerard McIntyre takes it back. Blaney back to the bottom, and we try to go 3 wide for the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, Aaron Reitzel starts to run away from the field. Tony Stewart now into the top 10 as Searfoss and McIntyre start to battle. Well, we got one around in turn number 2. Yellow for Max Stambaugh. Off in turn number 4, we're back to green. Aaron Reitzel continues to be your leader as now Justin Peck takes the 4th spot from Dale Blaney. Aaron Reitzel leads us now. Here comes Brock Zierfoss. Slider for second. Zierfoss throws the slider at Troy McIntyre. They battle down the backstretch. A pair of Central Pennsylvania natives in a full time with the All-Stars battling for the second spot. Give it to Brock Zierfoss. Now Blaney has company from Greg Wilson. Here comes Brock Zierfoss down at 5 car lengths as Reitzel's boxed in between a pair of lap cars. Somehow able to thread the needle, and a lap car comes down on him across the nose. Reitzel has a lap car between himself and Brock Zierfoss. Zierfoss looks to throw a slider on the left car. He does. It gets back to the tail take of Aaron Reitzel. Now Zierfoss has it planted firmly on the back bumper to turn him on, racing for the lead. Zierfoss trying to close back in as Reitzel threw a slider on the lap car. Now Reitzel puts the lap car between himself and Brock Zierfoss. Halfway home, now we come to lap number 16. 16 down and 14 to go. Reitzel has a quartet of lap cars right in front of him, racing hard for position. Aaron Reitzel's lead is cut down to 0.8 of a second. He's got to get to go here through lap traffic. Reitzel boxed in behind lap cars, and here comes Zierfoss. Zierfoss closing quick into 3 car lengths. 2 laps to go. The problem that will be created for Brock Zierfoss is you got to get past the 87. You can get to him, but you got to get past him. A white flag will fly, 1 to go, and Reitzel's lead 6 and 5 car lengths as he slices through lap traffic. That might be the win right there. Aaron Reitzel put the lap car between himself and Brock Zierfoss. Final 2 left-hand turns off until number 4 for the 7th time of the season. Aaron Reitzel wins with the All-Stars. And going upstairs, make some noise for Aaron Reitzel.
Thanks to Blake Anderson and Speed Shift for those highlights. And in the World of Outlaws sprint cars were, of course, Dirt Vision. The USAC Silver Crown was supposed to race at Springfield, but it got rained out. And we'll have hopefully highlights next week of the SmackDown, which starts tomorrow night. And Flow TV is offering for free the Wednesday night portion of it. Check out usac.com for more information. And in the American Flat Track for you two-wheel fans, they were at the Peoria TT in the singles class. Your top 3: Dallas Daniels winning it, Dan Bromley second, Jesse Janis was third. And in the big class, the doubles, in the doubles class, it was not Mr. Harry Wilds, that's won it 14 times. Blair Bauman beats his brother Bronson Bauman for the win, and JD Beach was third. The next race takes place at Springfield in 10 days. And that's it for the results this week. Now to some controversy over the weekend, and a great article, and it's posted over at the Dirt Racing Podcast on Twitter. It was by Jeremy Elliott from Sprint Car Unlimited, talking about, as you heard in the highlights, the car getting stuck up in the fence, up on top. Well, I'm not going to go into all the things about it, but some of the drivers were not happy with it. Didn't think the biggest issue some of the drivers had, and this is a quote from Darren Pittman, the biggest issue, the wall where the car was, you hit the bottom of it pretty good, Pittman said. One of the poles breaks and you have the car entangled, dislodge, and fall 30 feet on top of you. And then that was his opinion. And then he goes on further. I think the fact that it was a local car played into this decision. If it was an outlaw car, you wouldn't just leave it up there. And it goes on where the decision could have done other than take really long time to get down. I'm not sold on the decision. But that's been the biggest beef. And to Brett Marks and a couple others, that River Cities needs to upgrade. There's fencing, but that's the big story. The other big one was that Orange County for the big blocks where it started raining. It rained for like it was sprinkling. Then all of a sudden, 4 laps later, it downpoured and it tore up a bunch of cars in the process, and some drivers weren't happy on that. That was the other controversy. And then a third controversy, what's one of the topics I want to bring up, and I'm going to leave the names out of it, but if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. Promoter A got fired from track B at one time. Now promoter A owns a different track. Well, then he's scheduled against the track he was fired from every race night. Moved there from Friday to Wednesday. Now he didn't know when he was going to run his fall race when I asked him point blank 2 weeks ago. Well, to find out, he's paying big money, but he moves it to the same week, 2 nights as Track B is running their events just to screw over Track B. I don't think it's right, but I'm just protecting. If you know who I'm talking about, he hates Track B for what they did to him. But I'll be at Track B that weekend in September to support them. And in our other big information, next week, a lot of racing, so we'll have recaps because we'll have recaps of this previous weekend with SmackDown Knoxville Season Championships, which they're having. We previewed it a little bit in the last show. 360s are running 2 features. One is a makeup from Clearback on June 22nd, and that's the tightest points battle that could come down to who wins. So that we'll have highlights of that. I know we'll have SmackDown highlights, of course, from Kokomo with the USAC cars. And don't know what else. The following week show, part of it, because we're going before Labor Day, because of Labor Day weekend, we'll have a bunch of results. It's also the start of Super Nationals in Boone. So that week when we do it, you'll have the IMCA sprints from Eagle. Their nationals just got done. You have Super Nationals, which will have the first 3 nights of results guaranteed on that show, plus all the World of Outlaws stuff, Lucas Oil, and then, but I will not mention this right now. We will have a special live edition. It will be taped on September 12th. That's the first day of the Late Model Nationals. If anybody knows who Ben Shelton is, he does some of the broadcasts for Dirt on Dirt. He will be my special guest. We will recap the World 100 and preview the Late Model Nationals. If you are going to be in Knoxville, we are having the show at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. I will be there to start the show, the live part, at 1:15. Ben will join us at 2, and that will be on the second floor. So if you're in Knoxville and want to come see the show, as it will be right as soon as we do it there, it's going right on the web, wherever you get your podcast. And in other news, we do have a Twitter account. It's the Dirt Racing Podcast, which it'll have info. I'll post some stuff at times and updates. But in the future, there'll be some polls up because in the off season, we'll have some results of sprints and midgets in Australia. But I'm going to go back through my tape collection and play some highlights of old races, and we sit down and talk about it. Could be Knoxville Nationals, anything. We'll have a vote each week on that. So just think what it could be, the possibilities. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to another edition of the Racing Podcast.